Trial.
Yeah, hello and welcome back to Mzansi. We're back again. It is that time of the night where we have to talk about what happened in this case. Yes, and we are sorry about... we are sorry, guys. It's going to happen a lot, I think. It's going to happen. I predict it's going to happen more until we find a solution. I told you about us updating whatever that we're supposed to update.
You mean the software?
Yes. Now we are faced with this problem that now asks us a lot of questions that were not there before. So until we find out what is what, we are going to have these problems. And I'm sorry in advance. But we are here. It was a good day.
Very good.
It couldn't be better than this, I think.
I have no complaints.
Yes, indeed.
I don't feel like there's nothing that was left behind. I feel like every strong aspect that he needed to explore with Brigadier Gininda, he did. Now we know a little bit better and a little bit more. And especially when it comes to this whole DPP situation, we are more, we can see the light. Because there it was a bit of a frazzle, you know. It was a bit of a wonky, washy. You didn't know exactly what was going on when it came to referral of this case for it to go on trial. Who was there, who was pulling the strings, the shots, who was making sure that this case goes to trial. And now we have a better picture thanks to the cross-examination of Advocate Mnisi.
Yeah, with that being said, yes, it did give us a bit of a clue of who's who in the zoo and what is happening. Yeah, so now we kind of have a good understanding, I would say. Let us see what happened in that court.
And the judge, what do you think of the judge today? His behavior. I'm going to get into it as we go. But
well, the judge is always going to do what the judge does. And I'm saying this, I'm hoping, it just annoys me what this man does. I don't know how other people feel. It does annoy me a lot of time. It's like one of those people who goes back home and watches himself. How did I do? Hello? Please. The remote, please. Hello.
The danger is here. The danger is thinking that he's playing along to get along, and then he will do the right thing in the end.
No.
That's the danger here. Because that's what happens when politicians campaign and promise all these nice things, and then when they're in government, nothing happens.
Yes.
That's the kind of disappointment that I am saving myself from, because I hear a lot of people are thinking, no, he's smart. No, I don't want to be optimistic.
No, you cannot be optimistic.
I will be heartbroken. So I'm going to expect the worst and prepare for the worst. That's what I choose to do when it comes to Judge Ratamokwatleng. I do not want to get my hopes high over nothing, okay? Because today was too much. Today was a lot. I was like, okay, he's entered the arena again.
Yeah, he does that. He's gonna do that a lot of time. I don't know, man. Is there no one at home who watches him and say, man, you know, just shush a bit. Let these people do their job.
And even if you have to ask a question, don't make it so obvious that you're siding with the state.
Do you understand? Don't ask questions that are obvious that you're siding with the state.
Not cute anymore. It's not. Well, I'm going to start from the beginning of what happened today. Mnisi started with asking Brigadier Gininda what was the description of the perpetrator who got into the Kumalo house, who had a gun in his possession. that he had to go and look for. And Gininda said that the distraction that was given by the people who were inside the house in terms of the common features of suspect A, or the gun toddler, as Advocate Mnisi refers to him, and then he giggled a bit. So the first suspect that had a firearm was described as Short, that you will find in all the statements he said of the people that were in the house. Secondly, that he had dreadlocks. Thirdly, some of the witnesses referred to him as having big eyes, and others also referred to him as having big eyes and having gold teeth incision in the upper part of his mouth. There's also a description of the complexion, which he says was described as up to the neck. You know, the dreadlocks that were up to the neck, and the complexion also that is dark and shiny, and sometimes brownish.
Yes, but we explained it. Objection, my lord. The color is shiny and brown.
Then he also said that Ntabiseng's evidence correlated with the length of the dreads. That
I had correlation.
The correlation was used today a lot. There was a lot of correlation.
We are in statistics now.
And correlating. Does he understand the term of correlation? I don't think he understands, ne?
No, I don't think so.
I get it. There's correlation, then there's collaboration, and then there's corroboration. I think he interchanges these words, and I think he uses them in the same context, and they don't mean the same thing. I'm just saying. Because correlation, we're talking about something completely different.
Correlated. Variables.
Yes, that's stats. That's numbers. You're talking numbers. Numbers are correlating.
Yeah, you can use it. Can you use it in yeah.
I will need to Google. I didn't get a chance to do that, but I feel like he's interchanging words that mean different things, and he's using them as if it means the same thing.
Yep.
You see?
So correlation in statistics.
In statistics.
that's why I know it. Correlation coefficient.
I heard this term only in stats. I've never heard it being used anywhere else in English grammar or anything else like that. I've never heard people bring it up in a conversation unless if they're intellects who also did stats. It's statistics term. So I don't understand why he keeps using it. I don't know. Maybe he's thinking he's saying corroborate in his head.
No, correlation, apparently you can use it because
how can you use it?
It's a mutual relationship or connection between two or more things, which is, in a sense, explaining the same thing that we know in statistics.
So he wants to connect. He wants the evidence to connect, to match. But it doesn't.
Well, it did. It did to him. Because you'll hear as you continue. He's telling you about the brown, shiny person, right?
That description says dark, shiny. But he worked it all the way to it being brownish, and he's also trying to convince us on the pictures that accused number 3 is looking brownish. You
know what's the funny thing about this logic of thinking of brown, dark, I don't know, shiny.
You know, when you're trying to force things.
Let me say, because before it runs away, this browny, darkish, shiny, what I don't know what Gininda is trying to do here. He's doing what they did to the DNA. A camera can be, in fact, he's even talking about the light in the morning.
My goodness.
I'm not an expert, my lord, but the lighting, I know it has something to do with how the picture. But that's the thing, Gininda. That is not how people who are in the house are viewing. They are not viewing with a camera view. No. They are viewing with the naked eyes.
Whether there was light or dark, the picture was taken. They were not
and
looking
they were
at
asked
the
those
picture
questions.
Of the intruders.
They were asked those questions many times in the cross-examination. Those that you guys have called, they were asked, and they said the light was good. They said the light was good.
Yes,
you know, because at the time it seems as if that question when it was asked, it was going to say, because the light was not good, how could you have seen the accused? That's what now this light was good is being used now on the other side to say it couldn't have been the issue of we could not see the person. You guys said the light was good.
Yes, you did.
So if they say the person was dark, then the person was dark. There is no other way you can take this thing. Then you go to the picture, you try to marry what they said in the house, and it just doesn't make sense. You know, try harder, man. It does not make sense. You can never, you can fool those ones of TikTok, but I not here, Mshana, no, man. No, you can fool those ones of TikTok. Well, sometimes I go and listen. The evidence is not checked there. Evidence becomes that it's his gun, it's a gun. Therefore, in short, the logic is fine like that. But you cannot fool us, not all of us. We were YouTubers, Tina, this side. We don't play around this side. Yeah, this side we don't play around. We don't tap the screen 10 times. Here we like once, and that's it. So we are not begging for once you like, it's done. Here we don't tap the screen 14 times. No.
Hey.
You can fool those ones, not here. Not these ones. Really, you move a person from being dark. At some point, you remember how accused number 3 was explained. The color could have changed. Who said the color could have changed?
I think it was him in the trial, within the trial, if I'm not mistaken. There was aspersions that it could have changed because he's been indoors or something like that. He hasn't been in the sun.
Yes.
It was stain. It was kennel stain.
Can you imagine?
Yes, he said that.
And then here comes the brown
from
skin,
being dark
shine
to
dark.
being light.
It just does not make sense.
I even saw someone comment that maybe they use the same bleaching creams that can be used.
Do you have to go there? Who said?
I found it funny. I'm sorry.
But who said he uses the bleaching cream?
I just found it funny.
But is he using a
Why will he get access to them?
Okay. Because I don't want to be enjoying next thing.
He did not use the bleaching creams.
No, but is Kaylee using a bleaching cream?
Of course she has. She's even advertised them and marketed them. How? Come on now.
He said they're bleaching cream?
You wanted to say allegedly.
Okay.
You want me to put allegedly?
Yes.
But yes.
For the sake of this channel, small things like that.
She was a certain color and now she's very light.
Okay, good. Maybe she was staying indoors and all that. It could be. There are many explanations. Right. So it just doesn't make sense. How can you change a person who's dark, a light in complex, very light, and say all of a sudden there was this brown, what?
They were brown.
Basing your explanation on a camera, and obviously, probably this person was not even using an iPhone. Basing the explanation there, and you are linking. You're linking.
You're grasping at straws. I've never understood that term until I heard it today. I was like, Icon. Today, the grass, everything. We're just matchy. We're just grabbing everything. Everything must just work out to what we're trying to portray. It felt like that today. I was like, Icon. Yeah. So he said a description of the clothing was that he was wearing a top insofar as the jacket and that there was no dispute. Then the color kicks in where you find differences. Others described and said that the jacket was a khaki light or brown or beige leather jacket. Khaki, light, brown, beige.
It's a chameleon. It is catching all the colors at once.
It is too much.
This is where you see that investigation was just not, in my opinion, done. You are expanding your scope, and he's been doing this in many things.
Yeah.
Like the issue of complexion.
Yes.
It's in between. Yeah, take, so that you can pick and choose what suits you.
Nobody said light.
Now you come, a jacket is light, black. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Khaki,
brown, leather.
So that you can pick and choose the color. When you come, you are identify. When at the time of these people saying all these things, you come and choose and say, yeah, by the way, the jacket was khaki or was brown. I mean, we are supposed to believe that on the basis of a camera. You are saying from the camera, you see the...
We're not seeing those pictures,
you know,
but we understand why they are hidden from us.
Very much so. We understand because we've got eyes we could see. I guess we can see. Some of us are not in TikTok.
Yeah,
we can see. We must report what we saw.
I can see why. Very early on, they were like, no, exhibits must not be shown. Because before De Novo, the exhibits were shown. Everything was fine. And then after De Novo, got you high. No more showing pictures.
What this jacket is like a chameleon. Pelatinas, we only know the chameleon changing colors.
Yes.
This one.
That jacket color keeps changing. Not only the color, the material as well. Like khaki is not leather. Leather is not the woolen collar. Go busy, man. It's so busy with this jacket. I don't even know what kind of a jacket they were looking for initially. I don't know. I'm so lost.
And then we are supposed to believe that. And people say, Mnisi was asking questions that are irrelevant. The question was this his gun or not? The stupidity around that question, the stupidity around that is that they are saying the gun dummy was found in an open exhibit bag.
Yes.
That question that issue has not been crushed. So no one can confirm what happened. No one wants to take the responsibility why that exhibit bag was open.
And worse, you have to take.
I don't know how
Advocate Mnisi was taking his client out of that scene, and you don't only need a gun. You must address other issues.
Look at other people are saying, a gun.
You can't just address
if a gun is his, the gun is his.
You address the gun, which is something he did first, and then you address everything else.
If we go according to the logic of these people, we will all be arrested. We are all guilty at some point, for some reason. We are all guilty.
Guilty by association.
Because, for example, someone can literally take my fingerprints right now and steal them.
Yeah.
And go paste them in a gun that killed 5 people.
Yes.
So I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Because the question should be one question according to these people. Are these your fingerprints? And then I'm going to say yes. Did you own the gun? I've never owned any gun. I'm arrested. That's a logic.
Like that,
that's a logic of other people. Keep up our mutu. You know, this is I'm gonna say keep up because I heard man say that. Jesus.
On that other app, I don't want to what is going on?
No, I ruined it because I just went.
But I told you before. I was like, stay away from me. Yeah, but you will feel like you are a crazy one. You will feel like you are the crazy one.
Hey, Pela, you must ask one question. Are these your fingerprints? Yes.
Oh my God.
Well, we found them in the gun. We are going down for 7 people that died because of this gun.
Yeah, you are guilty by breathing the same air as the weapon.
No, they need to check their brains.
If it is there, it means you are there. I saw even the comment, someone saying that, yeah, why does the outfit why is the outfit similar to the one that the people described?
Oh, shame.
What did the people describe?
Oh, shame.
What did the people of the house describe?
They described a chameleon.
Khaki jacket with the leather, with the brown beige, with the
hoodie,
woolen collar,
with the hoodie.
What did they describe? They described it.
I think other people shame. Aye.
Well, when South Africa, we are in trouble.
We are in
if we
serious
reason
problem.
like this every day, we are in trouble.
We are in serious problem.
I don't know how to save.
I don't know whether to say our IQ is deteriorating.
Nah.
Yeah, it feels like that.
Nah.
Yeah, the IQ is just going down.
Down.
Down. We're going to end up finding the people at Ballistics. You say there is a sun, even if it's raining. Yes, there is a sun.
Sure. You know, to even think that it took Helen Zille saying that this is not a GN, it's a coalition.
And then they started believing. After that, they started believing, it's a coalition.
We
it's
are
a coalition.
in serious trouble.
No, it's a serious problem.
No, we are in serious trouble.
Sometimes you hear a good guy. Maybe I'm the odd one, manje here. Sometimes it's not that you are smart. No. Just because you are able to reason, how smart? You are just reasoning with the facts that are put in front of you and the circumstances in which they are put. You just reason, and but let's continue.
Well, he continued to say that the intruder is described to have had a woolen hat, which after the struggle with the deceased was left at the crime scene.
Now listen to that. That hat that excluded everyone. As an investigator, when that hat excluded everyone, what did you say? What did you think? As a person who's investigating, you are told that this hat fell from the people that were intruding here.
Yes.
Instead of investigating that, you are coming with a 2% theory.
And you know, he finished me when he said the hat's DNA did not match with any of the people in the house. So obviously, they were intruders. Did you guys hear him last week?
But it's not this one, Gininda, according to the DNA, right? It's not this one's.
You know what the interesting thing is? There is a way you can be able to test and tell if DNA was removed from an item. That hat, it would have been interesting to know whether the DNA was contaminated or removed.
No, in South Africa,
then you would have a better picture of what was going on. But it looks like you didn't even bother, you didn't even care to see if that DNA, and now I'm even beginning to question if the DNA was tested against the people in the house when a simple thing like taking gun residue from all of them on that night was not done. Now I'm starting to doubt if the DNA from that head was even matched or taken or compared with the people in the house. I'm doubting it.
You know what, people? I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking loud because I heard some of the things. People are saying, if this case was given to Hawks, everything would be fine. The person perfect. The scene was condemned
already. It was compromised. That's his word.
When people don't even understand which case is supposed to be attended by the Hawks. But yet they're arguing.
Yeah.
But let's continue.
Well, he said that the intruder is described to have had a woolen hat, which after the struggle with the deceased was left at the crime scene. It was described as the first intruder with dreads, and that intruder was the one having the hat. And he said it was described as a DOPS. That's coming from Ms. Zandi Kumalo's statement. Now, when you think DOPS, you're thinking Begitele's head. Right? You're thinking that hardcore, stiffened head.
Yes.
And he said that one of the neighbors, Madingwani, who indicated that he saw suspects going into Makumalo's house prior to the incident, and one of them was wearing a hat. Those are the descriptions in relation to the first intruder. Gininda then said, in addition to that,
those people are not here to be asked. Did they see Longwe coming in?
And
they are not here to be
question.
asked. Did they see Longwe coming in before they saw those people?
That question was even supposed to be asked in type saying as well, and I remember it being blocked from being asked.
And then you say, this case is well investigated.
It was asked, the objection was in type saying doesn't know long or something like that. And I was like, you're not even giving it a chance, bruh.
To answer. You know? Considering the fact that Longwe was there also apparently after the incident, right?
And type saying would know what Longwe looks like because he was a regular, allegedly, you know? And he was dating Zandi at the time. So not being asked that question, type saying, for me it was a red flag. That how
I mean, there are many red flags about this case. But guys, let's press that like button. Please, let's press it. We are way behind, 186. Let us press the like button. I know the sound was not there, but we did fix it. Unlike now. SABC, we fixed it, guys. Come on. Let us press this.
Press the like button, guys. Yes. And then Gininda said that in addition to that, it was also said by some of the witnesses, because it came out during the description that the first suspect A, had a firearm. Then the statement of Longwe, Tumelo, Madlala, they then referred to a revolver, a firearm with a wheel. Then the other witnesses referred to the part that suspect A was armed with a firearm. Although, as I said earlier, you got this assertion where people said that they were not trained. They are not sure of the firearm, but it is contained in the statement where the identification of a 38 special was mentioned, particularly from Mr. Longwe Twala.
You see, the bad person here is Stinker. That's what this is saying. And I wish Mnisi, when they called him, when they called her, they emphasized that we were under impression before you even came here.
That you lied.
That you lied.
You wrote
you
lies.
said that the people said the revolver, and people did not say that.
That's what we were told.
That's what we were told.
And that you made things up. You made up the revolver. You made up a lot of things. It's being asserted here and framed by the lead investigator that you just made things up. Apparently, the people in the house also changed their statements 5 years later, and they were saying they never said that. You interviewing them individually,
and you interpreted everything they said.
Decided to just write whatever you wanted to write. So that's the assertion that's being put against you. Literally, that's what's happening. Because how can you say that? How can you say that now a revolver? And the interesting thing about how he was putting it today, remember how he was saying and testifying that Kelly did not have a firearm license. There's no way she could have told whether that gun was a revolver or what kind of a gun it was. Do you guys remember that? Today now, he's no longer saying that's what he said. He's putting it as if these people said in their statements, we don't have firearm licenses, therefore we cannot comment on guns. That's how it came out today. It's now changing from him putting that, saying that you don't understand guns. They didn't understand guns, so they had no right to be saying that this is the type of their firearm that they saw. Now he's putting it as if they are the ones who said that in their statements, which have not been framed that way in the statements. The statements, most of them just said they couldn't remember what the firearm looked like. Tumelo Madlala's one, I recall. It never said, I don't have a firearm license, so I cannot speak on guns. I don't know what gun that was. So today, he was putting the bait onto them. Unlike what he was doing last week by saying, because these people don't have firearm licenses, they cannot tell me what type of gun they saw. Because it was a fumble, right?
It was.
It was a fumble, so he was trying to fix it. But it is contained in the statement where the identification of a 38 special was mentioned. He said, particularly from Mr. Longwe-Twala, he said, when you go to Exhibit J, it gives an impression that there were witnesses that identified the gun toddler as carrying a revolver. What also came up during the description of suspect A was that he spoke one of the Nguni languages, which is Zulu, when he walked in as a form of identification. This was noted when he demanded cell phones and money. What does he mean, the form of identification? What is he talking about? These people in the house failed to identify this person. So what form of identification are you talking about?
It's never going to be clear.
He said there was obviously one of the second suspects, but I'm not sure whether Advocate Mnisi wants me to deal with the second suspect or contain myself to the first intruder. And then Mnisi told him, yes, I'm referring to the intruder who had a firearm in his possession. And we're still busy with Exhibit ZZ. The statement commissioned on the 3rd of October 2020. And he said to him, you see there, you describe on your affidavit that from the photos downloaded, taken by himself, there were selfies matching the description of the suspect who had a firearm with dreadlocks, big eyes, and a gold teeth. And now he was asking, my question is in relation to exhibits would be, could you please identify those photos which depict the description mentioning the dreadlocks, the big eyes, and the golden teeth? Gininda said that this statement was a summary of the investigation that was done at a time in preparation for the authorization of the warrant of arrest. So on then, he summed up the investigation insofar as all the accused, but here we are only focusing on accused number 3. Secondly, these photos, the downloads, they are a collective which I deal with as soon as I can. So 1 then summed up the investigation insofar all the accused, but here we are only focusing on accused number 3. Then he said, secondly,
trying to deviate. Beltangwenya, thank you very much for your generous gift. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Secondly, these downloads are collective. And Gininda said, I will indicate as I go to them step by step and indicate the points that are covered in this paragraph and why I'm saying that. So I will make reference to say that this is what the photo is saying and where do you find in relation to Exhibit J that was referring to that. I will also have to refer to the other supporting evidence that I had at the time when I made this statement, because I was informed by evidence that I've obtained during the course of investigation and then subsequently then composed of the statement. So I will deal with it like that, okay? Then they were waiting for the monitor to be set up so that everyone can see the pictures that he was referring to. Gininda said, furthermore, what is prudent to mention also is that after the investigation, when one made the memorandum to the DPP and subsequently this application for the J50s, the once instigation that I conducted that led us to believe that suspect A, who is armed with a firearm, is accused number 3. And suspect B, who was taller and wearing a wooden hoodie, is accused number 2. Now, that is where the investigation took us. That is the second intruder identified by the people who were in the house. Taking the evidence that we had at the time, Gininda kept blabbing and told Mnisi that they wanted to give him a picture so that when they get to the photos, it is clear. So one of the descriptions of Longwe-Twala said that one of the suspects who were taller was wearing a black hoodie. And he also said that in the statement, Makaleni, also in the statement of Constable Zungu, Sizwe Zungu, who said that at a hostel he saw accused 2 wearing a black hoodie and then he changed it into a different color. Gininda requested that they start at photo 12, and he said what is prudent to mention there at 1731:14. What is important to note is that the date of this incident occurred on the 26th of October 2014, and he said that in his observation he will start dealing with this photo in relation to what he said in his statement in relation to exhibit J. And the first description that was given was the dreadlocks. So he said one can clearly see accused 3 is having dreadlocks. They are clearly visible. Secondly, with regard to the length that was described, they were going up to the neck. And he said in these photos, you can see that they end there. That is the neckline. They don't go further on this photo. And he said, specifically dealing with this.
Explaining the same
thing
that happened later on the same picture.
Over and over.
So they grew within a couple of minutes. They grew longer.
3 minutes later, they grew longer in 3 minutes.
And that's a time they could have changed the hairstyle. You know?
Aikuningi. And he said in Exhibit J, the description of a dark brown, shiny complexion is given. And he said that in his observation, if you look at the complexion of accused number 3, it's not the same as that of accused number 3 now, that he has now. The complexion that he has now, he said, is not the same. He's much more lighter. But if you look at this picture on this date, you can't distance it from the brownish complexion. That's at least according to my observation. He says you can see
when he says
clearly.
According to my observation, he knows kaputa very straight mara.
Oh my God. I cannot believe this.
Once he says, according to my observation, you must know, supporting something that is not sticky.
Sure. And then he said, what you see here and what he is now, it's 2 different things. He is more lighter now. But if you look here, in terms of dark brown complexion, you cannot distance it from the description given. How? So he said if you look at the top that is worn by accused 3, if you look at the color, the description is contained in the statement of some of the people who were inside the house. Others are specific, referring to it as a khaki. Others are referring to it as a brown or beige jacket, but you get the color khaki. But khaki is not the color. Khaki is the type of material. It's a fabric, Mr. Anonymous.
Khaki.
The fabric called khaki
is a color in that
color.
It's a color.
Khaki comes in different types of colors.
On that coat, the color.
There's brown khaki, there's green one, there's a dark navy blue one, there's even a white khaki. So I don't understand, why are we referring to a khaki as a color when it's a type of fabric? And then he said, but and it becomes clear that the person they refer to as a top. Now on this picture, it doesn't appear as a top, but when we see the following pictures, my lord, it will be clear. The court will see that indeed a top on the pictures, it will follow. You know, also one of the funny things is, Mr. Anonymous, I think I even posted it in the community tab at some point. One of the pictures that they are talking about, he has this 2-piece. Yes, it's khaki, but it doesn't look brown.
No.
Maybe it's because of the quality of the picture, I don't know, but it doesn't look brown at all. It is a khaki from what I can tell. But then it also, he's wearing matching pants with that khaki top. They are the same color. So my question is, if they saw the khaki top, how come they didn't see the khaki pants? Because it would be direct. This person was wearing khaki 2-piece. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now you are not seeing the pants and the color of the pants, but you're seeing that khaki top. And worse, the color might not even be brown at all from the pictures that I saw circulating on social media. That does not look brown, beige.
No, it doesn't.
It looks more gray.
Yes, gray.
It's a lot, family. It's a lot. So Gininda asked what they that they go to photo 15, and now he started describing and saying that this is the photo where I have said I can give the benefit of the accused, where 8 have said that the angle could not have been seen, but myself during my investigation, this is where I have said that one can see the shiny thing, which is the gold teeth incision. This is the picture where I was referring to the gold teeth incision when described by the people who were inside the house, that they noted the gold teeth incision in the upper lip. Although this assertion at some stage it was withdrawn, and Zandi Kumalo gave a statement, because if you look at Exhibit J, it gives an impression that there was an agreement in terms of identifying accused A. What agreement? Then the first suspect with the golden incision. But if you look at the follow-up statement, they then withdraw that. She said no, she never said anything about the gold teeth incision. So here is either Miss Steenkamp made up the gold teeth incision or Zandi lied.
Again.
Either or.
Again.
Because now kuthiwa uZandi ufikile second half wathi hayibo mina ngaze ngisho ngithi lo muntu lebekana gold teeth around the 8-year period, 5-year period that the investigations were being done. So what I'm gonna
guess
is,
out of the people who were in the house, who had the
struggle.
silver teeth or gold teeth?
And my guess is that it was a struggle to find someone who had a gold teeth.
No, out of the people who were in the house.
Or in the house. That's an interesting question.
Because that's what I'm looking at. I'm trying to think. Toes didn't have a silver or something like that.
Did Zamo have? Did he have a gold teeth?
I'm not sure, but I'm now interested in the people in the house. Did Longwe or anyone related to Longwe had the gold tooth or silver teeth? Even Tumelo, Togo, as they were standing outside. But again, who witnesses a silver tooth at a distance with an Apollo light?
That is something Makeleni has to come in. But he can't, unfortunately. It was something that I wished he could say and tell us how was that possible.
Hey, kudlaliwe ngathi la. No, we are being played. Unfortunately, they say the law, what wins is the law. I don't know how, but the law will win. Because they could object, because they
are better at objecting, they are better
because
at
the judge was there.
Quoting the law, they are better at quoting cases from 1978. Whatever, man, whatever. Whatever. So at this point, to me, in my opinion, it felt like Brigadier Gininda was leading himself through the pictures and kind of cross-examining himself, because Advocate Mnisi was just quiet. He was just going on, and Gininda continued.
I think someone is saying Togo has a gold or silver tooth incision.
Does he?
Yeah, because I think I saw it on the video somewhere.
On the documentary.
Yes. You know, in all honesty, I want to be fair to these so-called descriptions. It's like here, sihlanganisele abantu.
Yeah.
Like, umuntu one is a combination of, if you look at the pictures of people that were in the house. Like, in all honesty, in my opinion, I mean,
was saying on social media, I saw a comparison of Tumelo's picture and the so-called suspect B, and some of the features were looking kind of similar.
Yes.
Not all of them.
Yes.
Some with the tall suspect B, and it's kind of like, okay, what's going on here? What is going on here?
It's a combination of the people who were in the house.
So Gininda continued. He said that in this picture, he identified accused 3 in terms of his facial expression, dreadlocks. Also here, if you look at the description of the dark brown color complexion, you can rule it out from what you see there, my lord. Then Mnisi asked him to give the photo that he was describing a number, and he said it was photo 16. And then he went on to photo 17 that was taken on the 26th of October 2014 at 17:21. This photo, he said, is of accused 3 with dreadlocks, but they are longer. However, the angle of the previous photo where you see them going up to the neck, and it is not the same as the one in the previous picture. So Gininda said that on photo 22, one is able to see accused 3 with dreadlocks. And he said on photo 23 on the left, there's a person wearing a striped shirt, which is accused number 3. And you can see that he has big eyes. Okay, that's what the witnesses said about the eyes of one carrying the gun, or the one who was carrying the gun looked like. So who else had big eyes from the people that were in the house?
Big eyes would be... Wouldn't that be too many? Let me check.
Doesn't matter, have big eyes. Phela manje sisenza matching the puzzle. Matching the puzzle. Or it was just the big eyes were just thrown in there. You know, to throw hoy them in there as Well, he said that there was a picture where Gininda said also you can see accused 3 and accused 4, and this is picture 24. And all of a sudden now the judge was asking what photo it was, and he told Gininda to give it to the accused also so that they must see it. And even the defense must see it because he was describing something that was not on the monitor. You know, the picture was dated the 5th of November 2014. Then Gininda said on 4027 it was also blurry. Okay. But he could see that it is accused number 3 in the minibus. There's a Toyota minibus which was bluish, and he was sitting on the driver's seat. Well, the judge said that the photos must be given a separate citation from the ones that are in the bundle. The judge said that he could see the blurry pictures, right? But if this case was to go somewhere else, they will be wondering where those 2 exhibits are, you know. How did you feel about it?
If they were what?
The judge was commenting, you know, I was so annoyed when he was doing this because I felt like he's assisting Gininda and Baloyi to kind of justify why they found accused number 3 to be the first suspect. Especially in preparation for the appeal, because he was saying if this was to go somewhere else, he could see on the blurry picture that was accused number 3, right? So if this were to go somewhere else, then they need to have those pictures as citations at the back. Citations meaning like they are included but not part of the exhibit.
Yeah,
like it's sort of like backing of the exhibit, those pictures, so that they can see if it were to go somewhere else, what they were talking about when they were talking about.
Vele when it's going somewhere else, when I judge, and I understand your talk. Vele is going somewhere else because you are going to rule in favor of the states, and it's gonna go somewhere.
If there's nobody who doesn't know how to be discreet, is this judge. Already we are getting a vibe of what his judgment is. Already. We are nowhere near being done with this case. But it's giving that vibe that you are preparing for an appeal. I'm like, what nonsense is this? Like you are preparing for an appeal during the people. Then Gininda said that on photo 31, there are 3 gentlemen. There's also accused number 3. It's also blurry. but one can see the dreadlocks. Mnisi asked what the complexion is on that photo, and Gininda said it is much lighter compared to the others that they dealt with. However, he said that I'm not now wanting to speculate or testify as an expert, but Gininda said that one cannot tell whether it is late afternoon or dark at night, which is different to the other pictures. For example, picture number 12, where you can even see the sun rays at the back. It is clearly daylight.
Now that theory of being indoors is now thrown out of the window.
You can see the sun rays. If it's not the afternoon, late afternoon where the sun disappeared, then it would be night time. You know, as much as I'm not an expert, he said, I know that lighting plays a role in how one will appear in a picture. But Mr. Gininda, the people in the house were not looking at the picture of the intruder. They were looking at the actual intruder. How do we explain?
That's a question I was asking myself the whole day, and I doubt I'll ever get an answer.
He's speaking as if Bozandi were being, scuffling with pictures of this. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this. Mnisi then told him that one of the witnesses from the house said that the house was properly lit. There was light. And Gininda said that he will not be able to comment except for what is said in their statements. He said that the lights were on, but as far as what they said in court, he won't be able to deal with that. Well, the judge asked, because the judge began with Haibo. Let me do something quickly. Well, the judge asked if there were other gentlemen on the picture, if those other gentlemen were identified. So he was still stuck at those pictures that he was saying there should be citations. Gininda said that they were not relevant to this investigation. The one in the middle was identified as one of the relatives of accused number 1. And he called him by the name Spiva. And he said that person is no more. They've passed away. And if it is not Spiva, he could be wrong. If it's not Spiva, then he said that it could be somebody else whose name he's forgotten. And on photo 17 and 12, he made a comparison between the lighting. The other one had sun rays. The judge insisted that they put it next to the other one so that they can see the comparison between the two. But Brigadier Gininda, or to see what Brigadier Gininda was referring to. So Gininda asked Mnisi if they can still proceed with photo 31. Then Mnisi told him that he does not know what photo, because he requested him to go to the photos that of the dreadlocks, the big eyes and the gold teeth. I felt this comment coming from Advocate Mnisi that, Brigadier Gininda was leading himself and cross-examining himself, and Mnisi was like, I did not ask about whatever is happening between you and the judge. That's not what I asked you. I just wanted to know which pictures that you have are matching the description that you are saying you found from the statements of the people that were in the house of the person who had the firearm. That's all I was asking. Was Piva, the people that are in the picture, all of that has nothing to do with what I asked you say. And he said he did not say he should go to the photo 15, the one that he was talking about. And he said, you are the one who chose to go that route. Literally, he's the one who did it. Then Gininda said before he got the warrants, he went through all these pictures. It's not something that was coming from him. And he said, you don't find these features in one picture. You find them in all the pictures. That is why I'm going through all of them. So Mnisi said that he did not ask him to show one picture that has all these features. He asked him to show the picture with the features. He said that he is misquoting him. Mnisi said that he did not argue. He just wanted to correct what he put on record or for record purposes, right? So Gininda said that he was giving an explanation of why he was embarking on all these pictures. Gininda now moved to photo number 36. So he said that there was relevant, or it was relevant, and what was relevant there were the dreadlocks, the size of the eyes, the big eyes. Although he did say he doesn't mean to offend accused number 3, Gininda now went to photo 42, which was taken on the 6th of November 2014, and he said what is of importance is the complexion. It cannot be mistaken to be light, neither to be dark, but one can say it's brownish color. Picture 46, dated on the 26th of October 2014. He wanted it to be shown alongside picture 12 and picture 17 because the date is the same in all these 3 pictures. So the state had intimated earlier on that they will show the pictures after the short adjournment. And then Gininda said you will see that accused 3 is dressed differently than he is on the other 2 photos, but on the same date. What is relevant here? He asked, why is it relevant? He said it is relevant because one will not know when these times were not changing, as the angles were not the same, how the hairstyle of the accused was dressed. That's the angle that I'm trying to get across, because here you can see you're talking about the same date. However, the clothing that appears on accused number 3, except the similarities that it's him in the dreadlocks, are not the same clothing that you find on photo number 17 and photo number 12. So Mnisi then asked him about photo number 17 and 46. And he said that Mr. Mcube will come and tell this court that the photo depicted on number 46, it's a photo that was taken in the morning before they left Joburg at the corner of Main and Nugget Street, before they left for Spruit View. And it was taken at George Gore Hostel, and it was taken at 1728. Mnisi asked what he was saying in relation to the dreadlocks in the times that those photos were taken. You wanted to say something?
No, continue.
So Gininda requested to see the cell phone location at the times. Advocate Mnisi was putting to him, and he said we have cell phone records of accused number 3, and the time that he got the photos were taken as a selfie, meaning that it was a camera, a device was used in order for him to take those photos. And then Gininda said that on photo 12 and 17 he was wearing the same clothing. The only difference is that on the other picture he's with accused number 5, and the other picture he's on his own. So on photo 46 you can see clearly that the change of clothing is different than the other pictures. All I'm saying is that there is an opportunity for him to change how he dresses, and one would not know how the hairstyle was dressed when he took picture 17 or how he was when the crime was committed. So now Mnisi asked him, are you saying that time lapse between taking photo 17 and 46 was taken in the afternoon? There could have been a change in the style of dreadlocks. Is that what you're saying? And then Gininda said, I'm basing this on photo number 46. It was taken the same day as photo 17 and 12. So the date correlates. The clothing on photo 46 is not the same as the one in photo 12 and 17, giving an indication that there were change of clothing in between. And if you take into account, you cannot ignore that there is a certain way in which he dressed himself. You cannot ignore that. It's 3 different pictures. Mnisi asked him if he could see any change in dreadlocks between photo 17 and 46, and Gininda said no, there's no difference in terms of the length of the dreads. And before he could move on to picture 47, there was an adjournment that Mr. Mnisi asked for, and he said that the people that were setting up the pictures, they were asking for time to do so. So after that short adjournment, they beamed all the 3 pictures together. This is picture 12, 17, and 46. And Gininda now started to explain, saying that 17, 28, 39, he's wearing, what he's wearing is to the waistline. And he's talking about the top that he was wearing. And he said those who were in the house described it as a khaki. Notice how khaki has now become a color, and not a type of material. Notice that. And on photo 46, the outfit was different. He said one would know how the hairstyle was worn by the accused. And in photo 12, the dreads are up to their neck. There's a time difference of 3 minutes, but a lot can happen in 3 minutes. He changed a whole dreadlock hairstyle and an outfit in 3 minutes. Gininda now said that compared to the dark, shiny complexion that was given, the complexion is more brownish than light. He said now when one looks at accused 3 before court, now he's much lighter. And if you look at this picture, he's more brownish. Now he's much lighter than all the accused. 3 minutes that there was a complete outfit change and a hairstyle change in 3 minutes. If I were to speculate here, I would be saying that those pictures are not from the same day.
Yeah.
That's me speculating.
Yeah.
So another question comes to me. Where are the dates on these pictures coming from?
Created on the phone when you are taking the picture. Hey guys, my chat is stuck. I don't know what is going on, but yeah, they are created on the phone.
Mnisi asked
That's what
about
they say,
the
at least.
perpetrator who had a gun in his possession and who had foreign insert on his upper jaw or teeth line, which the state says it's accused number 3. He's talking about gold teeth. Well, Gininda said that he did not make a comparison. What he said was that the description of suspect with gold incision in the upper lip, he said, made the comparison with 2 other pictures which were blurred. So Gininda said Zandi made a withdrawal to say that she never said that the first intruder had a gold teeth incision. They say they didn't have it, and asked if the person depicted was accused number 3, and Gininda said it is. The judge asked what was the bluish string that he was wearing around his arm. Apparently was wearing a blue string around his arm. Gininda said that it's a string and didn't have any further explanations regarding that. But it seems like the judge was curious about the string on his arm. So Gininda said one of the pictures taken during the day that is more brownish than light, and he said it correlates to the description that was given by Warrant Officer Steenkamp by all the people in the house when she was interviewing them. So in photo 47, accused number 3 had a can in his mouth. He was holding a can in his hand, and he said to Gininda that he was looking brownish on that picture. So Mnisi went to the record of the 24th of January 2024 in the trial within a trial, and he thinks it was under cross-examination with Mr. Mcube, where he said that photos were equally found of the murder weapon used in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. Do you remember that? I remember this. I remember him mentioning that there were photos of the firearm that was used to kill Senzo in the phone. Well, today he was denying it vehemently because now Gininda said that he was being referred to his evidence in chief in the main trial, and he said he does not dispute the record, but he said that the photo number 38 depicted a rifle and a pistol, and they look similar. He's saying the pistol looks similar now. We're moving from, I have found the pictures and downloads that the picture of the firearm that he used is in the cell phone downloads to now, okay, they look similar to the one that was found at the crime scene. And then Mnisi asked him, are you aware that this is you misleading the magistrate? Because here's the thing. On the indictment, I'm assuming that's why Mnisi is pressing on this. So on the indictment is saying that he found the photos of the pistol.
Yes.
In accused number 3's phone.
Collaborating.
That's what it says. And now in court under oath, he's saying they are similar. They are similar now. You know? But the magistrate would have interpreted this as you found a picture of the pistol that was used in his phone. That means it is his pistol. That means he did commit the crime. If you are so sure that that picture of the firearm is in that phone, you know, and then the magistrate will be like, "Hey man, go to trial." You know? Just for that one sentence without full context. Why he did not put similar, only he knows, right? Only he knows. So he says, you don't say this was based on your view, Mnisi. Now cross-examining him on this. Do you understand that this is perjury? You misled the magistrate. Then Advocate Baloi raised an objection and said that there's no basis for the robust language. I don't understand how courts in South Africa expect to be effective if every time when something has to be hammered, they want to neutralize it and make it sound kind. And then you hear judges quoting cases from 1974 saying that a witness, you should handle them with kid gloves. I don't see that happening in other countries.
No, I also don't see it.
I don't see it happening. It's only happening in this country where there's this. How are you supposed to get the truth out of somebody when you are just handling them like, oh, sorry about your feelings, you know, how you feel. Do you honestly expect to get justice?
No.
So I don't understand when people now, you are going to a court, it's going to be robust. You are going to be asked a lot of questions. You must ask them according to what you saw, what you witnessed, and what you've done. So now there's this heavy enforcement, especially police officers in this case of Senzo Meyiwa. Police officers, kutiwa, they must be handled like kings and queens on that stand. The defense attorneys must worship the ground that they walk on. Of course, I'm over-exaggerating. But that's what, in my head, it feels like. So if I'm addressing the queen, I must not even look them in the eye. When the queen has lied, I must not say, "Queen, you have lied." I must look down, possibly kneel down, and be like, "My queen, you communicated misleading information." Oh my God. I don't know. I don't know where this is taking us, but it's not looking good. It looks like it's not looking good, in my opinion. I'm like, yo, how are you gonna work? How are you gonna cross-examine and get to the bottom of things if you're being told, be kind, be cautious, be what, be what? Ooh. So Advocate Baloi raised his objection and said that there's no basis for the robust language to distinguish between what your view is in an affidavit and what the fact is. We submit that it is putting it much stronger to say that the witness misled the magistrate. He has repeatedly said that this is a summary and maintains that photo number 38 is the firearm that was found. So Advocate Baloi now wants to go back to what Gininda had said initially, that it is the
guys,
photo
on
of
my
the firearm.
side, sorry, Emil, on my side, everything is down, but on your side, I'm sure everything is up. Let us push for the likes. I cannot even get my chats up, but I can see on my on the other side, everything is fine, guys. Continue, Emil. It's no transmesh. Okay. Just that on our side we cannot monitor anything.
Okay, hopefully it comes back to order. So he's saying that there's nothing wrong with that. There's no basis that, as counsel is putting it, that he misled the magistrate. He said we submit that the question ought to be disallowed. Well, Mnisi said that he was referring to what this witness told the magistrate in his affidavit. And he said, I'm not thumb-sucking this. The state is then suggesting that the summary must also not be factual. A person can just say whatever they want to say in a summary, even if it's not factual. This simply constitutes perjury. Somebody lied under oath. You cannot go and tell the magistrate that photos, as a matter of fact, were found that killed Senzo Meyiwa in the downloads of accused number 3's phone. What did the magistrate have to do then? The magistrate said, no, there's an exceptional strong case against these accused persons that I needed to sign this warrant against for. So this totally misled the magistrate. He said, I'm putting it to you, Brigadier Gininda, that this information that is contained in this affidavit, which is something that was made under oath, was misleading because there are no photos that you can point out exactly and say Exhibit S that this firearm is in fact, it's a firearm that was used in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa and it was found in the downloads of accused number 3's phone. Are you able to do that without speculation? Then Advocate Baloyi raised again, he said that they stand by their objection. Again, he still maintained that this pistol is the one that's displayed in photo 38. Even though the lead investigator is saying it's similar. The state advocate or the prosecutor in that is the picture. I don't know ukuthi yithi abahlanyayo or ukuhlanya yena. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm the crazy one.
We are delulu. Guys, just a reminder, please press the like button. More so because I cannot even see what is currently happening. Everything is frozen.
Guys,
on our side.
the chat has crashed for today. I don't know what's happening either.
Even we basically cannot monitor anything on our side. Now
but is it playing normally for our viewers? Can you guys see? Nothing is being interrupted on your side, right?
The voice will be fine, but you are buffering a bit.
No, guys, I need to continue. I'm continuing.
Continue.
So the only difference is that as counsel puts it in the affidavit, he states it as a fact. He is now saying in his view there's no difference. He's not really changing position, but he had changed position, Advocate Baloyi. Brigadier Gininda changed position. And he did not change position in a bad way. He was actually being honest. So yeah, I'm like, he's really doing his utmost best to try and reverse what just happened. But the bus has passed. So judge also asked if there's any resemblance, and Gininda said that the gun in the photo is a 9mm semi-automatic pistol that is black in color, and that it is the same as the gun that was recovered from Mcube's cell phone downloads. He said that the one with Mcube may have more specifications, but in essence it's a 9mm semi-automatic pistol. Mnisi then argued that Gininda made the same point in another statement, and that again indicates that he lied. Then Gininda said that there was no misleading or perjury because the evidence was presented in its entirety in the docket with what is contained, including the indictment, the confessions, and all the evidence. It was received back with authorization. Mnisi asked him, can you also show us the picture of the downloads of accused 3's phone, which shows the firearm used in the commission of the offense? Gininda said, I said in my view is that photo 38 depicts a rifle and pistol, and this pistol looks similar to the firearm that was discharged, and it discharged the bullet that was found at the crime scene. Mnisi then said, are you aware that what you stated here misled the magistrate? You didn't say in my view. You should have said in my view, in my opinion. At Mzansi Reality here, we always state when we have opinions and views and speculations, right? We put them there. That in my view, you don't put it as a matter of fact. I'm not a police officer, but I'm not even a lawyer. But I know that when you speak sometimes, you must put yourself together. You cannot just go there and make things that are a fact that are not. It's wrong. You should correct yourself and not cast the wrong stuff and make it true. That's not right. Then Advocate Baloyi raised the same objection, and he said that it's discourteous to put to a witness. What is discourteous about saying that a person that has lied? What is going on in that courtroom?
We really don't know.
Like when a person has lied, they have lied. Why must you now sugarcoat that they lied? I don't understand. Then Mnisi said that he must have used the word lie, or he must not have used the word lie. He should have instead used misleading. Same difference. The consequences are the same. Whether I say drinking water or aqua, whether I say a black person or a person of African descent, you all know what I'm talking about, which is true. I agree with him. Okay. And there's nowhere where he said in his view there was consistency in the art of misleading, and for what purpose is yet to be seen. Gininda said he couldn't have misled the magistrate because there was already a forensic report of the gun recovered from Mcube that linked it to the bullet found at the crime scene. So from that report from the Cleveland case, Gininda is telling us that he was able to link it to the bullet that was found at the Senzo Meyiwa crime scene. And here he's testifying about a forensic report of the firearm from the Cleveland case. He's talking about the ballistic evidence of the person who was working, the ballistic expert who was working on the Cleveland case, not the Senzo Meyiwa case. Not Mangena. He's not talking about that. He's talking about the forensic ballistic report of the person who was working for the Cleveland case. So from that, already he could tell that the bullet that was linked to the crime scene is the one that is in that ballistic report. Kwenzakalan. This is a red flag. Another one. What is going on here?
Yeah, it is a red flag. Yay, Matot. I'm under search here. I'm trying to get my things back.
Hi, guys. Like, why would you use this to try and justify that you did not mislead? Now you're pulling a report of a ballistic expect test that was done for your support of your evidence, but you are forgetting that for the Senzo Meyiwa case, there's another ballistic evidence. You are not referencing the one for the case that Mangena did. You are referencing the one from the Cleveland case. So you are saying that from that report, that is what led you to say that this bullet is the one that was found at the scene. Is that what you're saying? Then he said that everything that he mentioned in the affidavit was already in the docket. Then Mnisi said that I'm referring to what this witness told the magistrate in this affidavit. This constitutes perjury. You lied under oath. You can't tell the magistrate that the photos, as a matter of fact, were found of the firearm that killed Senzo Meyiwa on the phone. And then the warrant was signed. This misled the magistrate. This information in this affidavit is misleading because there are no photos where you can say it's a fact that this gun was used in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. Then the state objected, saying that Gininda made it clear it was his view. No, he did not. Where did he make it clear? Now the state is changing their mind. Gininda said that there was no misleading or perjury because the evidence was presented in its entirety in the docket with what was contained, including the indictment, the confessions, and all the evidence. It was received back with authorization. Then Mnisi said, I heard you saying in your testimony that you were not aware of the testimony of Miss Pinky Fine-Tellingham. And Gininda said, I was not in court, so I may not know the actual words that she used. Mnisi then said, you said you were not aware of the cell phone records of accused number 3. And Gininda said, no, let's put it in the wrong context. I said I only became
In the correct context.
in the correct context. I only became aware of the records covered in the 26th of October 2014 when she came to testify in court, and we only had cell phone records from November 2014. And Mnisi asked him the records of accused 3 had already been furnished to the defense at the inception of this trial. Then Advocate Baloyi objected and said that that cannot be corrected, or that cannot be correct. The records they disclosed were from November 2014. So Advocate Mnisi now said that was incorrect because, according to him, they were disclosed in May last year. He said that when he came into the case, they were disclosed in disclosure before they started with the trial. And Advocate Baloyi saying no, they were not. So now, Gininda also agreed with Advocate Baloyi, and he said that it is misleading what Advocate Mnisi is saying about them being given to them before the trial started. He said the docket is indexed. What was found was that the first records that were applied for in Cleveland only started in November.
You want to know the funny thing about that?
What is the funny thing?
This guy says they were not disclosed, but they were disclosed on a previous case. Did you hear him before the adjournment, Baloyi?
Oh, so they were disclosed in the previous case.
Yes.
That's what he said.
That's what he said before the adjournment. And then he came back and changed. The whole story was never the same after that. So it's things that makes me wonder.
Well, he said that the first bundle that they disclosed had a different... so if they have it, then they have to get it from them. It is also the reason why they were dealt with by Colonel Hose, and Colonel Stein did not have them, apparently. So Mnisi then asked for a short adjournment. He wanted to look for them in his own notes or his own collection of the evidence. Then Mnisi turned to the cell phone records, and he said that the phone pinged in Johannesburg CBD around the time of the offense. Well, when he came back, before he continued with the cross-examination, he did say that he needed more time because he couldn't find them. And then the judge asked all the defense counsels if they could not give it to him if they had not had it. And then they said no, they didn't bring it with them today to court. And then Mnisi, I guess he put it as one of the things that he will have to pause and get to later, because his cross-examination is paused. Although he's done, he's waiting for a couple of documents. Also, the charge sheets. The charge sheets that Brigadier Gininda was talking about, that there are different types of warning statements. The charge sheets, warning statements. He said that he was trying to make it a thing there of saying, did you pick it up, Mr. Aramis? Where he was saying that he did bring them the other day, last week, while he was under cross-examination with Advocate Mnisi, and then Advocate Mnisi became aggressive, and then he decided no, he didn't give him a chance to give it to him. I'm like, what is
You were
going
dephonizing Advocate Mnisi.
I'm like, what is going on? Does this man want to give these warning statements or not? Because the way he's acting, it's almost like are they even there? Let us start. Let us begin. Are they even there?
It's a good question.
Well, then Gininda replied and said, yes, the device. We have statements of people who placed him at the scene. And Mnisi asked him, accused 3 will come and tell this court, if needs be, that on the 26th of October 2014, he was in the company of, among others, accused number 4, when they left Joburg and they went to Katlehong Spruit. That information is all confirmed in the towers that was placed by Pinky Faitelengam of Vodacom. Then Gininda said, I don't know much about Katlehong, but I can confirm that he moved to Vosloorus in that afternoon. It's only corroborated by the cell phone, but by the witnesses we found through the course of the investigation. So Mnisi, furthermore, he said, then they went to Vosloorus. Then Gininda said, I can confirm that he was in Vosloorus, specifically Basutung Hostel. He said he had some statements to that effect.
When the cell phone is being used to collaborate the states, the cell phone is with him. When the cell phone is used against the states, the cell phone is alone.
It's not with him. And then Mnisi said, do not mislead the court. You just said that he was at Basutung Hostel. Gininda said, yes, I can confirm that the phone places him in Vosloorus, but I also have the statements from the place that place him in Basutung Hostel, specifically from Zungu. Yeah.
Only one person who came to testify. And that person doesn't even have a connection with this person.
They don't know him, but he insists he knows them. It's all very weird. Mnisi then said, when I put this version in the summarized form, it should be misconstructed, or it shouldn't be misconstrued that he was alone. They then decided to hit the road to Johannesburg, and that can be demonstrated by the cell phone towers. Gininda said he could confirm that that is the device, but however, he said, I have evidence that placed him in Vosloorus again later that evening. What evidence is that? Is he still talking about Zungus?
Yeah. And Kwabini, that never came to testify.
Then Mnisi said, more specifically, photo number 12 and 17 depict him at George Koch. These photos were downloaded from his phone. The tower has got to do with George Koch in Benrose. And Gininda said, I do not dispute. I do have a recollection that the device does leave Vosloorus and goes to Joburg, but I do not have the exact facts. What is important is the offense. It is not what happened around that time. It happened later. Mnisi then said, from George Koch, they took the road via City Deep as per cell phone towers up until the place he was staying with accused 5. Along the road, however, they dropped off accused number 4. Gininda said that the device says that, but there is evidence placing him at a hostel before and after the offense. Then Mnisi said, yes, the incident happened around 2000 hours in 2030. Then Gininda said, my understanding is that it happened between 2030 and 2100, and I based that on the first respondent who said they received a call just before 2100 hours, and the deceased was declared dead at 2115. Mnisi said the last activity of the cell phone record is 2032, and the next activity was at 8 the next day. Then Mnisi said he was never involved in the plot to kill Senzo Meyiwa, where Kelly contacted accused 5 to bring together people in the commission of the offense. Gininda said if you look at the evidence, it says otherwise. Gininda wants to make a reference of the confession, but Mnisi stopped him and he asked him if he was made aware of the law that is governing confessions, because you cannot implicate the confession of one cannot be used to be admissible against the other accused. But here it looks like it was a terrain that Brigadier Gininda was headed at.
Yes.
He was saying because it is mentioned in the confession of accused number 1 or number 2, then it means that he can use that to do or place accused number 3 at the incident. So then Gininda said, what I'm aware of is that the confession by one cannot be used against another, but that does not stop one from corroborating what is being said.
We are corroborating.
Now we're corroborating again. And there are also statements that were made and corroborate what is said in that statement. Furthermore, the firearm seized on the 9th of February was tested and was confirmed that it was the firearm the fired from the projectile found at the crime scene. This is why I say evidence suggests otherwise. Mnisi also said that Mcube denied evidence put by Constable Zungu. And Gininda said Sizwe Zungu is corroborated by the statements of Sfiso Gwabini Zungu.
Where is that Sfiso Gwabini Zungu?
Simpiwe Butelezi, which
Where
implicate
accused
3 as being at the hostel. Andris Makosonke also implicated him. And Mnisi said he knew accused 4 and 5 and not accused 1 and 2. And Gininda disputed it, saying that there's evidence pointing to the fact that they are homeboys. Then Mnisi said he was not part of a common purpose that the state alleged in the indictment with regards to the charge of the murder, attempted murder, robbery with aggravating circumstances as it is alleged by the state. And Gininda said what we uncovered in the investigation is that he was indeed there in the commission of the crime, and thereafter Mnisi said accused number 3 and 4 met accused 5 at George Koch. He was not there when they went to Katlehong and Vosloorus. Gininda said I would not be able to know what time they met. What I know is that they met before and after the commission of the crime. Mnisi said that this is the end of his cross-examination pending the issues of the warning statements. And he also asked Gininda to bring it back because now he was starting to be difficult, saying that he had bought them. The first time he bought them, Mr. Mnisi suggested bringing them. Advocate Mnisi stopped him and said he doesn't need to see them. And then the second time he came with them, he was carrying them just before he could introduce them. Mr. Mnisi stopped him. And now he doesn't feel the need for them to be brought. But then this is like, there's no need to argue, just bring them tomorrow. Just bring them tomorrow. So yeah, Advocate Numalo didn't want to cross-examine or start with his cross-examination because there was, I think, 20 minutes left. Was it 20 minutes left before court adjourned for the day? So he said he would rather start in the morning. Some people have a problem with this. I don't know why, but I wouldn't want to start. I don't know. Was he wrong for declining? Should he have just started and continued tomorrow?
It seems to be happening a lot, but yeah, he was right. I mean, most of the time, his time that is given late. So I mean, it's difficult to work around that and get the momentum. Yeah. So I agree with him. Mm-hmm. It's fine.
So is it still system shut down?
Yeah, the system on my side, guys, is completely shut down. We are just moving. We are on cruise.
Sure. Okay, we can open the lines now. You guys can call in. Please call us and let us know what you thought of today's proceedings. What do you think of Brigadier Gininda's testimony?
I knew you didn't ask for calls, but yeah, you did.
Oh,
good.
Sorry.
Let us call.
Because of the system, let us not have calls today.
No, it's fine. You can call. Because I'm going to sound like a person who's stopping you.
No, but I get it. The system is not working. So
no,
if
let's
it's not
call.
Working,
Let's have 2, 3, 4 callers. The system is down completely. Chrome is just...
We cannot see the chat, guys.
We cannot see anything, basically. The video itself, we cannot see anything.
I don't know what's happening either, guys, but it is happening. Technical difficulties. But that does not mean now you have to stop engaging. No. I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear what you guys
Zanzi, hello.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
We're good, and you?
We are good.
Today I'm not good, man. After watching that thing yesterday, I'm not good. I think it's just one of those days where I'm not good after watching it, because guys, bless your hearts for having the cognitive skills to be able to sit down and just listen to this man and just break things down, because I'm really, really, really struggling sometimes, I've just got a couple of things that I just want to comment on. This guy, let me start by saying it seems like there's different rules for different people in that courtroom, right? So there's there's a them and us kind of thing.
Yes.
Witnesses can be rude and speak whichever way they want to the defense, but advocates cannot put it to the witness that you are misleading the court or you're not telling the truth. So basically, if I don't know what the purpose of a defense attorney is, because I thought the purpose of a defense attorney is to show the court that a witness is not credible, or debunk whatever theory or statements or whatever the witness is bringing to the court, right?
Yes.
But then if Mnisi is trying to prove to the court that this guy misled the magistrate, why then should that be considered an insult?
How?
I don't understand. How else can Mnisi say this witness misled the magistrate? He was dishonest. How can he say it? Because it needs to be said, because we can all see that this is what is going on, right? And then the other thing also that I'm wondering is, I thought that witnesses that are called by the state are there to support the state case.
Yes.
So there has to be consistency. Like whether you bring a ballistic expert, whether you bring a pathologist, or whether you bring whatever, the evidence is supposed to support your case. So all of them have to be in alignment. Do you understand?
Yes.
So if a ballistic expert talks about this person was shot at point blank, when the person who shot this person was closer to the deceased person, that firearm was fired in close range. The pathologist should be able to say, based on this wound that I saw, I can actually confirm that this person was shot in close. The person who was very close when they fired the shot.
Yes.
There has to be consistency. They need to all, the evidence must match and support the theory of the state. But now, if Pinky was there for the state, and then she brings records, and the records are saying the phone was pinging in Johannesburg, and then Gininda is saying no. The phone was just roaming there by itself. It grew legs and it was running around Joburg, but this guy was in Vosloorus. Then can you see it's not helping the state case, because then one witness is saying something who's supposed to be an expert, and then the LIO is actually debunking what the other person is saying.
Yes.
So then if Gininda cannot prove that, if Gininda is saying, the phone pinging in Joburg doesn't mean that he was in Joburg, then why should we then believe that he was in Vosloorus? What is if he was at the hostel, let's say he was at the hostel and people saw him at the hostel, but placing him at the hostel doesn't place him in the crime scene, because those are two different locations.
Yep.
So I was just listening to his rationale, and it doesn't make sense to me. His rationale doesn't really make sense to me at all. It doesn't. And when he says there are witnesses, and I also have a problem with the fact that he speaks in plurality. There are witnesses that place in there. Who are these witnesses? Because only one person came and said he saw these people at the hostel, and this person is Zungu. But even if you see me at a checkers in whatever, let's say in the Val or something like that.
Yes.
You can't then say, because you saw me at a checkers in the Val, that means I committed a crime close by somewhere in Sebokeng or something like that. I'm not really familiar with the places around there. But if you say you saw me in Van der Bay Park or something like that, you can't then say to me that because you saw me at a shopping mall there, that means I committed a crime in Sebokeng.
No.
Just because it's in the same area.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't really make sense. And then on top of that, last week we spoke about memory and things like that. Do you know that if you interview people who witnessed a crime, okay, let's say 5 people, and the maybe the perpetrators were in a getaway car, and the car was white. I'm saying this to talk about the khaki thing, okay? Because there's different colors that are being mentioned about the way this guy was dressed. If you're interviewing 5 people and they saw a car, okay? people will give different descriptions of the car, but there will be something that is common between all 5 people.
Yes.
Okay? Because somebody may say the car was white and it was a little car, but I cannot remember whether it was a 2-door or it was a 4-door. Okay? But somebody will say the car was cream white and it was a hatchback. Okay? So that person is saying the hatchback is confirming what the first person said, that it was a little car.
Yes.
And then maybe the third person would say the car was pearl white, and it was a VW Polo. They will give specific characteristics of the car. And then maybe the fourth person will say it was a VW Polo and it was a 4-door. But I'm not sure whether it was white or it was cream white or it was pearl white. Do you know what I mean? But there is something that is common that the people will give you that you can work with. And in this case, there's nothing. There's no case here. In my opinion, there's no case. There was no investigation. This guy just went and looked at statements, and then he put a theory together based on what he was reading in the statements, and then he brought Zungu in, and then Zungu said people were at the hostel. So there's absolutely nothing. Nothing. And it's so sad because the judge hears and sees things that other people don't see.
Yes.
But anyway, I'll end it here, guys, and give other people an opportunity. I love you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. The judge can even see blurry pictures.
Mzansi, hello. Mzansi,
Hi,
hello.
Mr. and Emily.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. Thanks for taking my call. Few pointers.
Yes.
I must say, my first comment is I was disappointed by the PP today, which is the public prosecutor, regarding the issue of Section 205, that you are saying they were disclosed to the previous council, but not to this one. And me, I'm asking myself, when did they get this Section 205? Isn't this Section 205 came as part of the Cleveland case? Is part of the Ghana also. So when the IO is saying, I only got to see them when Pinky was testifying, to me it doesn't make sense. It's just that the staff was there, like all those Section 205 very good. And it just happened that for accused 3, his Section 205 is helping him to move away from the case, and they ignored it. They were just hoping no one picks it and they cruise. That was their only hope. Because if they picked it when they were consulting with Pinky, why did they come to court and say, before Pinky starts, we want to mention that there's an issue with this Section 205. We did not have it by the time we were doing the investigation. And so that we at least know that they were also surprised by that. But that's being the case, the PP ended up saying, I didn't give it to Mr. Mnisi. I gave it to Tobane and the other guys. What difference does it make? That's right. That's one. And then, Mr. Anna, I've got a question.
Yeah.
What is our crime scene? What is our crime scene again? Because by the testimony of IO, I left me confused a little bit. Which one is our crime scene? Is it the house or is the hostel?
It seems as if it's a hostel.
Yeah, because he keeps on saying, I've got statements from Gwabin who says these guys were at the hostel. And I'm saying, what the heck are you talking about? We need these guys at the house, not at the hostel, man. Even if they were at the hostel. Even if they were at the hostel. How do you bring them to the house? You need people who were at the house. If Gwabin went with these guys to the house and says, I went with them, I just remained 100 meters away when they were going, that's better. Not to say I've got Gwabin who says they were at the hostel. Because the hostel, it means nothing. It's just a place where people stay. It's not a crime scene. That's one. That's why I said I was even confused by this crime scene. Okay,
yes.
And the pictures. The pictures threw me off a bit because when the guy is saying you can see the difference in the hairstyle, the way he's tying the dreadlocks, and me, I'm thinking even if you tie them differently, if dreads are long, they will be long, man. Even if you take the picture 2 hours apart or 5 hours, if the dreadlocks are long, they will be long. If the person is light in complexion, Whether you decide to tell yourself it's dark brown or what, we don't care. But the person will be light in complexion. Whether it's a day, there's a light, or there is no light, or the person will remain light.
Yes.
If you look at, I'm not going to body shame anyone, but if you look at myself, if you look at advocate, the guy who couldn't cross his exam, Numalo, even if you see him during the day or at night, you can still conclude that it's dark. Yes. That's how it is. Yes. Yeah, you cannot change that there's a light. So when he started talking about there's a light in this picture, no light, the people in the house did not see pictures, man. They see the essay.
Yes.
So that's one point. And I actually learned something from this testimony, Mr. Arno. If you didn't learn, please, Mr. Arno, I hope you are not like most of us gentlemen who don't take pictures, because ladies take pictures. But wherever you go these days, Mr. Arno, just to take a snap, it will at least record that you are there and make sure your location on the phone is on, because it might talk as something that will say no, you were there, because the pictures that were taken at George Koch, mate, they are the ones that are corroborating. I was with my phone at George Koch.
Yes.
So, because if there was no picture there, their theory of the states that says the phone was not there, the phone was in Joburg and the person was in Phosphorus, it was going to be argued here and there, and there was a small possibility. But they said that the same phone we are talking about is the one that took the picture here in Joburg. What are the chances that it was in phosphorus? It's zero. That's another point. Yeah? And then I go to witnesses that are inside the house. According to the IO, that's when I actually start questioning his capability of being an investigator. He corroborates everything, including dark brown, big eyes, gold tooth. He corroborates it based on the witnesses, except the gun. Why? You must corroborate everything.
Yes.
Everything. Because everything that he says, except the gun. They could be wrong on the gun, but they are all correct on everything else. No, it must be correct in everything. That's the last one. And then the documents from Mnisi. I don't care, man. The IO is feeling like he's doing Mnisi a favor to bring those forms. Mate, whether Mnisi said he doesn't want or he wants them, please bring them. I felt at the end the judge was supposed to say, hey, let's end it now. Please bring them. Because now, I'm not sure if you want them. If those forms are there, what would be difficult, Mr. Arnold, to just go away there and take them? Because from what you were saying, it looks like he had already printed them and he had them, or he had collected them. If they are there, what is difficult, man? Just go and get the form and say, Mr. Mnisi, these are the forms. And I actually think those forms are not there now. Unless they are opening another can of worms and he doesn't want to bring them. Because you cannot tell me that after such a long process, FFC is not coming. And I've been waiting for that FFC, even me who's watching, I want it. And the same energy that Gininda uses to look around for the doctors and for everyone else that he chases in that case, he must run around.
Yes.
And bring us those documents. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Those are my free pointers. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're on fire.
Hey.
When I'm struggling.
Hey, today. Hey, today.
You guys are on fire when I'm struggling, right? And thank you for that. Unfortunately, Mzansi, hello.
Hello, Bujani, kunjani?
Ngiyaphila mfethu njani?
Ngiyaphila nami, Emily kunjani?
Ngiyaphila.
And I just want to ask a few questions. It's Madura here in Cape Town.
Yes.
I saw everyone was still happy.
Yes.
Who was hosting the event? It was in Hostel, where Zungu met those guys.
You're saying it's Kwabin, right?
They said it's Kwabini.
Why they didn't bring that person to confirm? No, those guys, they were in my place. We were having this and this and this.
Because it disappeared. Because of the because he came in a form of a statement. So he apparently affidavit that was commissioned by maybe Gininda, I would assume. Yeah, so he's there in court, just waiting for someone to open that door.
Hey, I fail to understand everything. Even now, to coming on the dreadlocks.
Yes.
Before the dreadlocks, it was Bongani Danzi.
Yes.
He was having a dreadlock and a cold tooth. All of a sudden, it's changing now. I choose number 3.
Yes, it has changed.
I choose number 3. Have those a dreadlock, but it's light on complexion.
Yes.
You don't find, they never even check here he was have a cold tooth or no, but he never was even a cold tooth.
Yes.
I'm trying to wondering with everything. Now I'm asking myself, with those 5 guys, no wonder who's going down, because the 2, he must go down.
Yes, apparently.
It's either is 2 and 3, they must go down. Because the judge is not on this argument Mnisi were doing everyone. Even there were things they said, no, we prepare for the next stage. Why they didn't just close this stage once and for all, they guessed on the next stage?
Yes.
Because there is a lot, even on the cell phone situation. Is them they introduce that investigation. Only now, it's only when they suit them. But when it's the defense side, they say, no, you can give the cell phone is someone else, then you remain behind, then you do whatever you want to do.
Yes.
I believe this judge, he has a problem.
Yeah.
He needs to see a psychologist or whatever. He's a professional. It seems he don't care about his reputation, where it's from until today. Because someone who respects himself and respects his reputation, he can't what this judge is doing. I mean, this judge, it seems like it's from somewhere, I don't know. To me, I so wish this case is just a jump normal. You're going to Mshololo, from Mshololo, you go to Mkomezulu. Then this case, there is no case anymore. Says that this judge, you know very well, from this case, there is no one who's going to call him again, because he know very well he's already in pension. He enjoy now these privileges now. So he delayed the people, they struggle to sleep, they're stressed because of him. He don't care about those people that are in jail. He don't care about the family of the deceased. He don't care about what the nation say. That old man, even now, you watch your channel now.
Yes.
You know exactly what the people are saying about him, but he tell himself, I'll finish this case 2026. On this case, I want to get plus minus 2 million on this case while I'm on pension. Thank you very much. I know, man. I don't have a phone. I just use a Dory phone so that I watch in my screen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
And for even calling.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Right. Qhubekani phela bafowethu. Makusavuma, I'm not sure what is happening on the background, but makusavuma, guys. Why not? We are here. We are waiting for you. I see Uchi on the other side both Sizwe are having fun on my absence. I cannot see anything. Both Doka Shabalala Nolukhanyo Gawu Bala Manqoba El Mthetho. I guess he's Mzansi. Hello. Having fun on my absence. Yes sir, how are you?
Hello.
Yes sir, we are through. How are you?
Ngiyaphila njani?
Sikhona mfowethu.
Siyaphila. Ngale ngifike nje nami elijikayo lapha mfowethu.
Yebo.
Nami impela lento le iyangibhida ngoba seshintshile manje ukuthi i-gold tooth siku accuse number 3 manje. And ukuthi gold tooth accuse number 2.
Yes.
And accuse number 2 umbuzo wami ukuthi u-accuse number 3 waye nengathathwanga eyo-check-a i-gold tooth uma ukuthi wayeno-gold tooth.
Yeah.
Njenge-accuse number 2.
Yeah.
Ngoba sibamisa kudokotela nje womcheck ukuthi wayenalo i-gold. Yini u-accuse number 3 bengamthathanga bamisa kudokotela ukuthi womcheck ukuthi wayenalo i-gold.
Yeah.
Iyajika nje manje lento kaGininda sazi uqamba amanga njengoba umuntu unamanga sehluleka nayo kusho sehluleka nayo pretend ukuthi uqhubeke ukuthi hayi lo muntu lo useze wabona unamanga too much.
Yeah.
Hayi ngifuna nje ukufika lapho ukuthi hayi ngathi manje sesiya misleadwa njengoba kushiwo ukuthi nathi sesiya misleadwa manje indaba yakhe.
Siyabonga. Yes. The caller simple saying that why is the tooth, the insertion of that gold tooth changing the bodies from Ndanzi to accused number 3, and accused number 3 was never checked as Ndanzi was checked, and also the dreads also changing from one person to another. That's basically what the caller was saying. Let us hear other people what they are saying. What are you thinking when Angesingawe Shaya nje Mzansi? Hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm good, man. And you're speaking to Bongs from Cape Town.
Oh, yes, Bongs.
Yeah, man. There is no case there.
Yes.
Mr. Mnisi dismangled all that thing. You see you could sense from Mr. Brigadier Gininda. Their case is so reliant on those confessions. Without those confessions, the case is out of the window.
Yes.
Because if you check, he's been consistent referring to those confession statements.
Yes.
He has nothing to put on the table. Say, here's the case. The guy, before he started investigating all these things, he had nothing to investigate those guys. Actually, Gininda started investigating this case based on hearsay.
Yes.
It's a hearsay and those fake confessions. And to the level of inconsistencies, man.
Yeah.
You took Ndanzi to the doctor to confirm. No, man. Why don't you apply mathematical rule, man? What you do on the right side, you must do on the left-hand side.
Yes.
Why was it not taken there for gold check as they did in Ndanzi? Because there was no gold. There was no gold. No, man. I hope this judge. But hey, Brigadier Gininda is depressing. I saw that judge, man. Even his confidence was. He's no longer that hype. He's realizing, no. These guys are, man, they sell me a dummy. There is no case here.
Yeah.
But yeah, anything is possible with that matter.
Asaz.
And I don't even know, man. There is a lot of young judges. This case could make name for them.
Yes.
Why would you go fetch someone who already made the name in legal fraternity? Let the guy play there with his grandkids, man. Bring someone who's still active, man, who understands those things, who know the possibilities of consequences. That guy doesn't care about the consequences of this case. After he will do whatever he wants and then go back and play with his grandkids and go play golf. The other thing, I so wish, Mr. Mnisi, when they bring our ballistic expert, I so wish that guy can trick them with Africans. I saw that judge, we are basically Africans, man. Our expert must come prod them, man. Just to hype up Russia. We are basically Africans in the money, like una bundo ngata. That guy must present our ballistic report in Africans, please. And some few days I heard Mr. Mnisi prating. I said, yeah, our
fluent. I was also surprised, yes.
I was surprised. Yeah, our ballistic expert must go there, Pratt Africans, and present the ballistic report. That judge will be hyped up. Please, man, I'm praying. I'm holding my fingers, Sis Emily. Yeah. I gave you homework the other day about that FFC number on the comment section.
Yeah.
There is a lot to uncover there. Our policy expert must please, Pratt, when he goes there, he must forget English. That's Pratt to hype up Rata and make sure Rata is on the right. You will Rata, once you Pratt, Rata will toe the line. Thanks, guys. Love you long time, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, just a Pratt Afrikaans.
Bashonjalo, but you made a Pratt. I was surprised hearing Mnisi reading Afrikaans fluently.
It's based in Pretoria.
Yeah, I know. And he was
Might have
obviously
studied at
prosecuted.
UP.
Yes.
Might have.
Yeah.
And during that time, you couldn't get into that university without knowing how to speak Afrikaans.
Afrikaans, apparently.
Classes were conducted in Afrikaans.
Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, say, how are you?
Hi, right now.
Yes, right, Mvut.
Yeah, Emily. Hi, Mr. Anonymous. Say hi.
Yes,
Hello,
sir.
Yeah, I mean,
hello.
according from my side, I don't see that judge actually sentencing those guys now.
You still
From
don't
now,
see-
when we see Mnisi, the way Mnisi break this case, I'm still thinking about how Mshorolo, she's going to come. And at the end of the day, we are still waiting for the person who was supposed to start.
Mm.
So from my side, I don't see this judge. This judge, according to me, he will try to avoid so many problems. Number one, we are still waiting for what Mnisi asked, that can you go and confirm the lawyer?
FCC.
If the lawyer was the lawyer, but they still didn't come back.
No.
Because they know that Mnisi already, they know the defense, they already know that, that guy was not supposed to be a lawyer.
Mm.
So now there's also Kelly Kumalo, as Mnisi was putting in there, that okay, now we've got Kelly Kumalo there as a king. What do you call this? Is a kingpin, not kingpin. What do you call the boss? Whatever.
Kingpin.
Yeah.
Mastermind.
Yes.
Trigger.
Mastermind. Yes, mastermind. Why is not understand? So the case is already fed up, and I saw when Baloyi, when Gininda was breaking, when I remember when Mnisi was keep on pushing it that actually. So who's the person? Also, when did you talk to the NPA about the kingpin, and what was the NPA view? But who will stand up? I objection, mate. So, guys, I don't see the judge putting the judgment. It will be a worst biased things in ever.
Let's prepare ourselves.
We won't pull that stand, That will be a stand. If you will sentence them, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Sure.
Thank you. Right.
Nice.
Yeah. We catered for everyone. You know what the funny thing is, Emily?
What?
I'm thinking out loud. How am I going to stop this live? But because now I don't have the button to stop. But we will see how we do it. Right, guys. I think senibhodlile nabhodla yonke lento benifuna ukuyisho. It is vakashe nje kancane. Siyi freestyle lento le ngoba vele ya freestyleka. Innocentia Hadebe Nolukhanyo Ngawu, Doka Shabalala, we appreciate you guys, all of you. Laura, we appreciate you, a member. Fundisa Hela, we appreciate you. Lusanda Msila, we appreciate you. Joe's Bila, thank you, we appreciate you. Sizo 18, we appreciate you. ESC Escape, we appreciate you. Mangoba L Mtetwa, we appreciate you. G Moodley, we appreciate you. Msongelo and Love, we appreciate you. On my second, yes, we appreciate you. Vusutando, we appreciate you. We see you now. In Tolap, in Topa somewhere. I'm just taking few of these people that I see here and say we appreciate you. Siba, we appreciate you. We see you. Shanji Wesbando, we appreciate you. Colin Vadival, we appreciate you. And we had, and yeah, iphela lapho sibusiso Ndlovu ayike bafowethu ke nami ngizamile ongangabandlami kuyabonga kakhulu bafowethu ukuhle nje Unje, we appreciate all your work. Now I have to find a way of shutting down everything. I hope it's gonna happen. But before I do that, the likes that I see here is 419. Why not 600? We are 600. Guys, don't forget to like and press that like button, subscribe, and become a member until today. Until today. We will see each other today again. But I'm sure this one's not going to be long because it's normal. Normal does not take long. Touch and go. I can actually make you feel pain, but because your father is there. Ngasube tentwana Yes. Yebo. Right, guys, we appreciate you. All of you. Enjoy until tonight.